Welcome to the Hoe-Busters Podcast, y'all. I'm your host, Derry.
And I'm your co-host, Nita.
And we are welcomed today by this wonderful guest, comedian Chris Monds of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to chop it up a little bit. He's going to share some of his life experiences with us on today's episode. And
we can get it started. So, Chris,
yes,
give us a little introduction about yourself and what convinced you to come to our podcast.
Well, so Derry hit me up because I've been seeing you guys. I think I commented on like the Shade Room one day, and then somebody had liked my post. Like, damn, that's a dope ass podcast. Like, and I was watching y'all stuff, and then Derry hit me up and said, "Do you want to do an interview?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Like, it seems super dope. But before we get started, I'm from Dunn originally. I live in Charlotte, outside of Fayetteville. People get mad all the time. You never mentioned Dunn. I'm like, there ain't but like 800 of y'all.
Oh,
I'm like,
shoot.
So they get mad. You from the big city? You
Still got to rep.
Gotta rep the hometown now.
Yeah, so all my people stay on one street, so shit like that. But nah, I've been doing comedy for like 8 years consistently. So I'm just, moving and grooving. I'm touring nationally, so I'm just trying to get my thing together,
So tell us, Chris, what convinced you to get into comedy?
My old lady, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, and we was living in the A&T, so Aggie Pride.
Aggie Pride, y'all. Aggie Pride.
She convinced me to do a open mic in Greensboro, and I did good. This was like 2010, and then like my next few shows, I was just like horrible as shit, like I bombed. It was like we got in an argument type shit, because it's nothing worse as a comedian and you got a girl and she laugh at other niggas shit and don't laugh at yours.
Oh God!
And I'm sitting there like, you got me doing. I was mad. You got me doing this, embarrassing myself. We didn't fight, but like we argued like the whole way home, and I quit for like 6 years.
What was it about you that made her say you should do comedy?
Just being funny at the water cooler type shit, getting drunk, and I'm saying I don't drink like that now, but like making people laugh and stuff like that. So you should try comedy, and I'm feeling it. I had a good show, but it was cool.
What type of comedy or humor do you have?
So it's more so like observational, right? I don't really do like self-deprecating. I don't get in there and talk shit on myself, but it's like observational. So I was very quiet growing up, but I was watching everything. So just watching people, seeing how people move. Yeah. And just trying to make fun out of that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us, as far as your relationship, how you met your significant other.
So my wife, we met at, I'll never forget, it was the Delta Probate 2007. We met in front of the bookstore. Okay. So y'all know the little roundabout right there. Everybody used to hang out.
Yeah.
We met at the roundabout, and I sent her a message. And I was like, hey, you're cute or whatever. And then we just started talking. You know, you can message people on Facebook before. Only college students can have Facebook.
Yes.
So that's how we met. And we've been rocking ever since, man. No outside kids, none of that shit. So
that's wonderful. And what attracted you to her?
She was nice. You know what I mean? I just wanted somebody that was nice to me. Like, just respecting me for who I was. I didn't try to hit on the first night. And she was like, come on. Like, she was like more willing than I was. Like, nah, I like you. Cause I know if I smashed you on the first night,
that changes
I ain't calling you back. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna hit and I'm gonna keep going about my business. So we, just her being just her genuineness. She was very genuine, very pleasant. And that's, pretty much attracted me to her.
Now, you say nice, but I'm gonna say all women are nice. So what do you mean by nice?
Nah, I ain't trying to like talk shit on women, but like some of them like just that mean, hard demeanor. And because she's from Pittsburgh, so like she, the up north girl is a little tougher. I'm from down south, right? And so sometimes it'd be a little rough around the edges, trying to beat you up. But she was super cool.
That's what's up. Do you remember y'all first date?
Yes, I do. We went to this place called I don't know if you heard, it's called Rockola Cafe. It was like an old restaurant. And we went and seen that movie, The Kingdom, with Jamie Foxx.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was our first date.
Nice.
Okay.
That's very cool.
Well, technically, the first time we actually like hung out, I got her some nuggets from McDonald's. And we sat on the park bench and we ate them.
Back in the day, those nuggets used to be good. I don't know what they made of.
Right, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
But we sat in front of the little math bill, the Martina water fountain. We sat right there and ate. And so that was kind of like our first date.
All right, so get your family a shout out, why don't you?
My immediate family?
Yeah, your immediate.
3 kids. Let's see, 11, 8, 3. know what the fuck I was thinking, having a pandemic baby. 11, 8, and 3. Shout out to my wife, Danielle. Mom, dad, they all back home. Sister, 3 brothers. I'm from a big family, right? My mom is one of 6. My dad's the only child.
Okay.
And so it's like, it's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you shout your family out, I'd be like, just, hey.
Everybody.
Right. Because it's a bunch of them. They'll get mad. You ain't shout me out. I'm like, we ain't talked in 6 weeks.
Right. Listen, I like to ask this question. I think it's kind of fun. Tell us about the most famous person you met and what that experience was like.
Doing comedy, I met a lot of famous people. I'll tell you, so I met Gary Owen. I did a show. We did 6 shows together, right?
Oh, wow, okay.
He came to the Comedy Zone, and he was going through a divorce.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you remember that divorce very public.
Yes, very.
So we did the show together, and my first show, he wouldn't let me in the green room because he thought I was a process server. He thought I was trying to like serve him divorce papers. And I kept telling him, like, nah, I'm a comedian. He's like, nope, you're not getting in here. You're not getting in here.
Oh, my God. That's
and so
funny.
they called my name and said, come to the stage, your host for the evening, Chris Monds. And he looked at me, and I was like, man, I told you. Like,
Right.
Yeah, so he let me in the green room after that. But, like, he thought I was trying to serve him divorce papers. Like, nah, nigga, I'm working. Like,
that is so funny. What is he like in person?
Quiet.
Yeah.
Most comedians are very quiet.
Okay.
Like him, Donnell Rollins is super quiet. But most famous comics, they don't really talk much.
Yeah, because they too observant.
Yeah.
They're really assessing everything. So it's kind of like I'm not a comedian.
Yeah.
But I'm observant too. And
Yeah,
that's
you
how I
watch
get to
your
read
surroundings.
people really well.
You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
if I ever have to tell somebody about themselves, it hurts because
you dig
really
deep. Women dig deep. They say shit hurts
Like-
your soul. Cause you been
I don't even be trying to do
taking
that,
notes
though.
and shit like, yeah,
it ain't even that.
You be having fake arguments in your head in the shower? Like fake comeback?
I do.
This is what I'm gonna say. If they say this, I'm gonna say this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm practicing it out. And look,
I'm
sometimes
never
it definitely
prepared to
comes
tear
through.
somebody down.
Yeah.
Like
You just wait. When they say this, I'm gonna say this.
Oh, yeah. And she gonna come with the fire.
Yeah.
Trust and believe.
You can tell all quiet women, they shit been building up. They be mad about stuff when they was like 9. Like, why you taking it out on me?
nah, men be doing that. Men be like, because I got my heart broken in the 2nd grade,
Yeah.
all the women have to pay for it now.
Oh,
like,
my God.
let's be real.
They get mad.
It be
I just
men
miss
be
my grandma.
projecting a lot.
Why
Yeah,
you going
like
off on me? I miss my grandma.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. Or what was a funny childhood moment you have?
Me and my sister got into it real bad one day. That's my best friend now, but we used to fight like cats and dogs. And I hit her across the head with a mop handle. Yeah, I bust all her shit over.
What's the difference in age between y'all?
3 years.
Okay, she older?
Now I'm older.
Okay.
Baby sister. And I protect her now. Like, you can't do no wrong with my eyes or her. But like, she pissed me off one day, and I had a mop, the old mop handles, like with the metal thing on it.
Mm-hmm.
She had pissed me off, and I remember it was a green mop handle, and I was like, bam!
Oh, my God. I could see my kids being like
And
that.
she was leaking too. That shit came all down her face. Yeah.
Oh, God.
what were you mad about?
I don't even know. But she took me there.
Did you get in trouble for that?
Yeah, I got an ass whooping real bad.
Good.
Real bad.
Did you get a lot of ass whoopings growing up?
Nah, she took the ass whoopings. but
Yeah.
I caused them. You know what I mean? So it's like,
So you did the blame shift thing.
absolutely. Yeah, gaslighting, all that.
You-
All them terms.
Okay, let's talk about
Yeah, I
it.
sure did.
So you started at a very young age.
Yep.
Did you ever turn that off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
How did you know to turn it off?
Therapy.
Mm.
I ain't afraid
Like,
of therapy. I got
Okay,
therapy now.
let's be honest, because I feel like a lot of people say that to smooth things over. But
Yeah.
what was therapy for you?
I actually talked to somebody. I got a therapist now. Shout out to my therapist in Durham. His name is Timothy.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to like turn the conversation like real.
It's
No,
all
we
good.
need to go there.
You know,
We do.
Yeah, I'm in therapy now, but he's super cool. But just dealing with some issues with some people in my life, and just trying to work through them.
Is it more family issues?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Being from a small
Unpacking
town.
it.
Yeah, unpacking it. Setting boundaries.
Mhm.
Being from a small town, being one of the ones where it's like I got away and stayed away.
Mhm.
Because a lot of all of my cousins went to college. They went to like Winston, Phelps State, A&T. But I'm one of the ones that went and stayed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
absolutely.
because I was like, hell or high water, I'm gonna make my own way.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I'll sit in the car and be broke before I go back home and trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm one of the ones that went away. So you'll get the funny looks like, oh, what you
You think you're better than us.
right?
You'd have made it out.
right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, you damn right I am.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Stand on it,
Stand on it
Nothing
for
wrong with
real.
that.
Yeah, you think you a celebrity, this, that. Like, no, you think I'm a celebrity, but I'm
Mhm.
not yet. Anyway,
I know that's right. It's coming though.
Yeah,
It's
we
coming.
gonna
That's
claim
for
it.
sure.
Jesus name.
See, I think it's important for us to be able to explore getting therapy and getting some help. That's something I think I really want to push on this show. It's the process of healing. Sometimes we've gone through really difficult moments in our childhood.
Use that EAP.
Yeah, listen, I know that's right. We're paying for these benefits, and so why not? I think we've all had, some certain family dynamics that shape us to be who we are. We can always be better. I say life's about learning and improving all the time. We find a lot of Black men really shy away from it, really just kind of want to neglect, that part of the healing process. Yeah. Was it easy for you to get into therapy? What was the process like finding a counselor? Have you been with the same person? Did you have to bounce around to multiple, professionals?
This is my second therapist. My wife's the one that told me, she's like, nigga, you need some help.
Well, at least you listened to her.
What made her say that?
Just the way I process things, right? So I'm from like, my uncle and my dad raised me to be like, all right, if you take care of the house financially and, make sure ain't no bad shit come to your door, you're doing your job. Right?
That's not enough in a relationship.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I wasn't there emotionally.
Yep.
So that was the piece that I was missing.
Were you aware of that?
Nah, because
at all?
My thing is like, all right, I'm going out of town. I got a show this weekend. Or, just an example, I got a show this weekend. I got to fly out, here's $1,000 for y'all, food, whatever you got to do. And I'm thinking everybody's straight. Not knowing like, damn, like you didn't have to leave this early to, to go do your thing. Just not being there emotionally.
Or physically.
Well, so I'm there physically, right?
Because that's financial. If you're going on all the time on the road, you aren't there physically all the time.
That is true. I try to be, right? But it's like mentally I'm not there. The presence is there, but mentally I might focus on like, all right, my confidence.
What presence?
The body, the sheer body. I'm there. But like mentally.
You just said you weren't.
Well, I mean, are you trying to trip my words up? See, that's how they do. That's how they do.
No, it ain't they. It's you.
Yeah. So I'm trying to work through it. Just trying to make sure I'm there more emotionally available. Especially having a preteen daughter.
Yeah.
So just making sure she's not feeling like, all right, my dad take care of me financially, but like, he ain't here to hear me out or listen to me, stuff like that.
So you make sure that if she calls, you're emotionally available.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Women like to talk.
Yes.
And it's like, what are you talking about? But
it's communication. It's tapping into you being a human being.
I got to. So I'm working on that.
Do you have like a lot of one-on-ones with your daughter, or is it more like we sit around and have like family meetings? That's what we used to do growing up.
Nah. Well, no. It's more one-on-one. Just try to catch her when she's in her element. She's at the age now she'll go in a room and lay across the bed. You gotta go meet her where she at.
Yeah, for sure.
And then my two boys, I got a 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. They're attached to my hip. So it's like, I can't get shit done. So I have to tell them, all right, give daddy some time. Let me go, talk to my daughter or whatever. And just kind of break away from that because they'll occupy all my time where I got to be emotionally available for my daughter and my wife. So.
Absolutely. Now, do you encourage your friends to seek out therapy? Because I know in a lot of men's spaces, it's like y'all kind of serve as like the informal therapist to your friends, but it's some things that you just don't have the capacity to really handle. So that's when we need to be seeking out professional help. But do you encourage your friends?
We encourage each other.
Yeah.
Our group chat, like we'll tell them, like, all right, man, you go talk to somebody. Because one of my partners, he's in the Navy.
Okay.
And he encouraged us a lot to go get some therapy and talk to people. And then I got my other best friend. He's my best friend since kindergarten. And like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And this nigga's like,
you got all your secrets.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one, like, if I die, he get the password to the phone.
Memoir.
Right. You know what I mean? Hey, you burn everything.
I burn it.
That's my dog. But he'll be the one to tell me to go talk to some people. And we kind of we help each other through situations. So
that's that's
my
rare,
dog.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it is.
Like we've been like since kindergarten, 5 years old. But yeah, that's my dog.
Do you have a big circle of friends that you still keep in touch with? No.
I got my 4 from college. We got our group chat. And then I got my best friend, and then I got, some associates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think as you get older, you really don't have that many friends. Yeah, you don't need that many people in your business.
Nah, that's very true. Very true.
Because they bring a bone, they'll tote a bone. And I found that out, especially with comedy. Everybody ain't your friend. Anything in entertainment, really, or just being older. Everybody.
It's not all that's cracked up.
It really ain't.
Yeah.
It really ain't. And I really hate socializing, to be honest with you. Especially with the pandemic. And I'm like, man, I don't want to talk,
Mm-hmm. I can understand, yeah. I find it's really important. Like coming out of my marriage, I thought it was really strange that my ex didn't really have a lot of friends, period. And the ones he did, it's like he'd play these games with them. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Even like his childhood friends, it was like he'd have this thing where he'd like ghost them at times. And he might ghost them for 6 months. I just thought it was strange how he would almost take advantage of the friends by like I said, kind of ghosting them. And then on my end, I wouldn't know he was ghosting them. He'd be coming to me crying like, I don't hear from them. They don't call me. They never want to come and do anything. So there's a lot of jealousy when he sees the relationships I had with my friends.
That's kind of weird.
It is very weird. Yeah. And so I feel like now going like forward as I'm dating, like I want to know what your circle of friends look like. I want you to have a social life.
That's a reflection.
I want you to, it is. 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
You want them to have something outside of your relationship.
Yeah, because then they'll get so caught up in everything I'm doing, everything going on here. My friends' situations and business come a part of. Like they want to know because there's nothing else going on the other side. Yeah. So I think it's really important for men. And it's funny because as I'm dating, there's so many, I'm a loner, I'm by myself. And I'm like, that's a red flag. I don't want no parts of you because I want you to have some friends. And so I think it is important, like, even teaching my son, like, take care of your friends. Don't be lying.
Right.
Don't be, you know what I mean? Like my son, I find he over exaggerates at times. And I'm like, and I call him out on it.
Embellishing.
Yeah, like, hey, no. You didn't do this. You weren't doing this. We didn't go here. Why are you saying that? And it's like, it just sounded good. No, because if you don't check this stuff early with these kids, they grow up and they're doing it even worse as adults, and then they're manipulating everybody and lying, and that becomes habit. But I think that's really dope. So
did your ex-husband, right?
Yes.
Was he used to sit in your face when you be having your homegirls and stuff? He'll be
and it's like, and then if I want to go and have a conversation privately, it would be like, what's going on? Like, I don't want you always in my bed because I can't even talk.
I would come over her house all the time, and I was like,
really, it was just asking me that.
Really,
dude.
And me and her have been friends at least 8 years.
My daddy always told me, he said, man, don't be sitting in no women's face. They sitting there talking. Like, so if my wife have company, I can't wait. I'm like, I'll see y'all later.
He'd have his mom, like he wouldn't maybe sit there because like she'd come over.
I never saw that.
He might come around for a minute, but then he'd dip away. But in the later years, he just was real like, I don't want to see your friends. I don't want to speak to them. I don't want to meet them.
Was he fucking one of them?
Not that he might lied about he was,
might have been one of those.
But it was really strange. Like I can't see it. My friends, no, I can't see it. But like I remember I had a girlfriend who came when the Q conclave happened here a couple years, right?
Oh, yeah. And bunch of my partners are Qs.
Listen.
They was down here strong.
That was a time
I kept my wife in the house. I said, you stay your ass home.
You knew?
Because she liked the Qs. I said, you stay your ass home. Don't you go out there.
You knew?
No, I'm not. I said, you stay your ass. My best friend is 5-year-old. He's one.
Okay.
Big. And my older cousin who I look up to, he's one. Hey, but they deep in it, and I see how they act, and I was like, nah, you stay your ass at home.
They're very wild.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend came down from Detroit. I think she was there for like the whole weekend, from like Thursday, let's say, through Monday. So at least 4 days, right?
Ready.
Never seen him one time. He went out of his way to be busy, be sleep. Yeah. And it was so frustrating. And then it was actually the weekend of his high school reunion, remember? It was like his 20-year reunion. He forbade me from going to his reunion. And
side baby or something?
He had an ex-girlfriend who he was in love with. And so he wanted to make sure he can see her freely without me being around cock blocking, How
did you find that out? Well, that's an assumption.
This is when Hoe-Busters came about. So when early last year in January, I got him a phone for Christmas. And so I was helping him upgrade his phone around New Year's.
And you seen it all?
And migrating. No, actually, I was just migrating everything over. Years prior, he would have her initials. I won't say her initials, but her initials would be the contact in his phone. So over the years, I would pop up and, so you've got her number in your phone again? Why do you keep popping up with her number? And so when I'm migrating the contact, instead of like, I'll change her initials. Let's say it's GT, right? He put it in there as GTT. So you add an extra T and think I'm not going to recognize that this is the same girl, right? And so I'm pissed. And I'm like, so many times I would ignore it and be like, you know what? There's nothing I can do. Just it is what it is. I was just in a really sunken place.
For sure, yeah.
And so, but this time I was like, I'm fed the fuck up. And so when I addressed it, like, I'm sick of this. I want a divorce. I literally can't take it no more. Yeah. That's when it's like, you're the fucking hoe-buster. It's like you're always fucking trying to bust me doing, but there's always something to bust.
That's real.
And you're a fucking hoe. So I realized he was just projecting. But
Hoe-Busters.
This Call me a Hoe-Buster. What the fuck is that,
So
right?
It was an admission of him being a hoe.
It was. Like, could you imagine calling your wife a Hoe-Buster? Like,
it's funny you say that because she asked me, she said, what's the name of the podcast you gonna be on? And I was like, it's called Hoe-Busters. You out here busting hoes? And I'm like, what do you even mean? Like, black woman, she jumped to conclusions, busting hoes and shit. Like, I ain't busting nothing. Like, I want to do a podcast. Yeah.
And everybody, they hear the name and they think like it's about cheaters and it's about me busting hoes.
Yeah.
And I said, no, it's just me taking a fucked up name and throwing it in his face. Like, look, I'm the Hoe-Buster. I got that shit trademarked and
that's dope.
We running with it.
I respect.
So back to the not being physically present, and because some of my friends are married, right?
Yeah.
And usually they always invite everybody over and it's a group thing instead of it being like, we have our girls' night. It's always a group thing. So it's not like, I don't know, I've never spoken to your husband or I never see him, because that looks very awkward, right?
Yeah.
It almost sounds to me like it was an indication that he was totally detached from the relationship.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. I mean, the man, like we were really heavy weed smokers, so we always kind of go. Listen, I mean, I took a break. I still partake in edibles on occasion.
I'm scared.
That's detachment too.
Yeah. I mean,
what, smoking weed?
I'm just trying
saying,
to, some people
like having to be numb,
but it's actually a way to not be present.
Yeah,
like,
okay,
for sure. It would just
like
I want to
together, but
out of everything.
You zoned out, really.
Yeah,
yes. We do it every night.
Listen, we used to do it every night and be locked in the garage, but it was like, okay, well, it's 6:30. I've got to get dinner. I got to do this, and he'd still be in there, and he wouldn't want to come around and be around with the kids. So it started feeling really like, damn, I'm a single mom because I've got to do dinner, fix the plates, do homework after, baths. You know what I'm saying? Like, get clothes ready for school the next day, and he'd still be in the garage. And it was like, this is getting really tiring, getting really old. But it definitely was a concern after a while because even that night you came to my house, I think, last year, and I was like, hey, my friend's out here. You never met her. I'll meet her another time. So in that summer, it was so many things that started happening that I was like, yo, I don't know how much more of this kind of shit I can take. But like I said, when I was able to start talking to some of the former friends, and they were like, even like example for our wedding, I was detached. I didn't have really anything to do with my wedding plans. I could give a fuck about them. Honestly, I was engaged for 2.5 years, and his mom was so like, I'm gonna plan it. Have fun.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So she went all in. When we're doing our guest list, he didn't want any of his friends there. Like, our wedding party was huge because you were at the wedding too.
Was he like a serial killer or some shit? It's like he had a lot of secrets.
He tried to lie and say he killed somebody one time, and I just looked at him like, it was when he got caught cheating.
When a man say he actually took the breath out of somebody's body, you might want to believe that.
I don't believe it because he lies so much.
Most killers don't admit to it.
He lies so much.
I don't know
that
I think more men got bodies.
This is when it was. We're going all over the place. He only admitted it when I found he was cheating on me with 6 women. And it was like, I'm dealing with so much pain because I did this thing and I just needed some way to. And I'm like, you a liar. So I never
kill.
Right.
You know,
it's like my grandma. You lie, you steal, you cheat.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I did some researching about the incident. I'm not even gonna go into details. I did some research about the incident. I found nothing. And if this really happened, there would have been some kind of news article. There would have been something. I found nothing. So I didn't believe that.
I wouldn't be able to sleep beside somebody who said
it made it very difficult. It definitely made it difficult. But at this point, he was such a liar that I'm like, this another one of your motherfucking lies. You're trying to deflect. You're trying to, it's always the shift blaming and whatnot. When we got divorced and I actually was able to talk to Brian and the friends, they were like, he told us that you're the reason we couldn't be in the wedding, right?
Damn.
He blamed it on me. So they were like, we carried some ill feelings for you for a minute because we're like,
told us.
What the fuck? She keeping us out of, and you were in all of our weddings.
Damn, yeah, this dude. I hope I don't know him.
Oh, I hope you don't know him. He's a really, really sad person.
I don't want to bash, bro. I hope I don't know him.
It's a shame, but like I said, I'm meeting so many more people out here who kind of have this weirdness with friends. When I meet somebody, I'm going to see what your friends like. I'm going to be talking to these friends because this is where I fucked up. But I was 18 when I met him, so I didn't know you know what I'm saying? It was 19 years I wasted.
Yeah.
But I didn't know to meet the friends or pay attention to this or like watch the signs. And they were like, yo, he would ghost us for nothing. I'm like, he ghosts y'all? They were like, yeah, we go like a year not hear from him. Then he pop up like, yo, what up? Look at this new bitch I'm fucking. And it would be like,
Lee.
damn. And they were like looking at him like, this nigga weird as fuck. So a lot of them don't even fuck with him now since the divorce, you know? So that's why I start feeling like I have so many experiences and situations that I can pinpoint like, this is what this looks like. This is what gaslighting looks like. And just, I feel like a full-blown expert on narcissistic personality disorder because I've dealt with one for 19 years.
Do you still feel like that you're stuck in a pattern of not moving past like the abuse?
It's going to take years for me to heal from this. I mean, to go through that type of emotional abuse, to deal with like spending the time dissecting so many elaborate lies. What I don't want to do going forward as I'm dating is like bring that on the next person. Like they didn't do this to me.
Well, it's hard to do when you keep talking about it.
It is. And I try to be real careful. Like I don't want to bring up too much of this. And if they care to know, they can pretty much watch my podcast and learn a lot of the details. But nobody wants to hear about somebody's ex all the time. You know what I mean? So you do have to be careful about it. But that's why I can't even date seriously until I know I'm in the better space and continue working on my counseling and all that stuff that I'm doing because this was a traumatic experience.
Talking about red flags. If I sat down with somebody and they kept talking about what they ex took them through, my heel's gonna be hitting my ass.
Hell yeah.
Out.
Yeah. And that's why
that means that you're stuck in that you're still not over that relationship.
Right. It is hard. I was contacted by one of his girlfriends who he started dating after we separated.
Okay.
And the poor girl laid it out for me for hours about he did this and he ruined me. And I'm like, damn, so he's just out doing the same.
Bro worked fast.
He worked very fast.
Don't they all?
And because they go from one.
Don't generalize us. No. Don't do that.
Hey, I always got one in the
No. Who want to go from
come on now.
But that's what so many men do. No. They go from one, they don't take time to heal. It's like, I need the next bitch. And when you know things are shaky, you're going to have some lined up.
All my partners are married for the most part.
Oh, that's good.
And that's great. But keep in mind, she was married too. What did that mean?
Hey, bro sound like he's like a serial killer type shit. He had a lot going on.
Let's be for real,
sociopath, psychopath, all that.
My wife always told me, right, if you got a problem with something, go don't cry to this person and then go back and hang with this person. Like go to the root issue. So I'm working on that now. Yeah. But like most of my partners, man, like if they doing some fucked up shit, we be like, hey, bro, like
you check them on it, like you ain't with the friends cheating on each other.
Different dynamic of friends, because literally most of them egg it on and they support each other. And they
cover for each other. Yeah, absolutely.
We stay too far away to cover for each other. Like
that's not true.
My partners, like L.A., D.C., Philly. I'm in Charlotte, so it's like
it'd be like I'm going to L.A. You end up in goddamn Texas somewhere with the side bitch. So it can happen.
Literally, like play into the delusions and pretty much egg on the misbehavior.
Nah, we always tell each other, like, man, like, whatever you doing, like, I don't want to be involved. Like, I'm going to tell you it's not okay.
Yeah.
But, like, don't get me in your shit.
That's good.
Don't tell that,
you need more of this.
Don't be like, hey, you in Charlotte. No, you ain't. Like, because our wives know each other.
Okay.
Right? They friends on Facebook and they communicate. So it's like, nah, nigga, you better tell her where you
at. Go underground with it. You
right. Like, don't get me involved.
Slick about
don't bring no shit to my house.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? I got, because couple of my partners, his first marriage, he went through that. Like, he would get us involved and shit. Mm-hmm. And like, nah, nigga, like, they fighting and carrying on. Like, you want with me? Like, you call it, deal with that.
Well, listen, this is the Hoe-Busters Podcast.
Yes.
So we like to ask our guests, tell us a good hoe-busting story. Maybe you got caught cheating.
We need your hoe-buster story. Don't tell nobody else's story.
I ain't got one.
No, so you telling me when you were dating,
you
never been cheated on?
Or you ain't catch nobody up in some stuff?
Nah, because I mean.
Oh, this man. I heard comedians are big liars too.
See that you go generalizing. Nah, comedians.
Everybody got one now. Ain't no way.
I got a.
How old are you then?
Huh?
How old are you?
37.
You definitely got a Hoe-Buster story.
Nah.
That's why I said it don't have to be about him.
Like, I refuse to incriminate myself.
Now I got a cousin. This is a true story. Like they her and her husband or boyfriend, whatever, they got into it. And they called, we was out living in Greensboro. They called me and like, hey, such and such got into it. And I rolled over, went to sleep. Like, don't call me with that shit. But like, I got the video. They were fighting in the middle of the street from my grandma's house. Fighting in the middle of the street.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
He was fucking around.
With who?
I don't know. I told him not to call me.
How he get caught?
She went through that phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She seen the swipe pass.
How long had that been going on?
I don't know. See, men don't ask questions.
Yeah, they don't.
First of
we
all,
want all the details.
Chris, he's something else. The biggest gossipers I know are men.
I heard this funny thing that was like, think about the messiest bitch you know. Now, what's his name?
Oh my God, that's the truth.
Most men tote news. I never been a big gossiper. I mean, my wife will pillow talk, but I never been one to like tote news and shit like that.
And we've had the pillow talk conversation before on this podcast.
Oh yeah, me and her pillow talk. I get all the tea.
I'm telling you right now, if your friend is married, your business is known by the other spouse.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what. Even when I was in relationships, that's what people do. You can't even really be mad about that.
100%. And then you all right, don't say nothing in front of them. Like,
like, this is between us.
It's between us now. All right. Yeah, my wife, we pillow talk
locked
all
in,
the time.
Yeah.
So I know all her friends' business. She know all my friends' business.
Exactly.
But I ain't gonna say nothing.
The point is, you just don't say nothing, but you definitely partake in the gossip.
Oh, absolutely.
There we go.
But I ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I mean?
You just pretend you don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I say face.
I love the pivot though. He will not give a Hoe-Buster story. He's gonna tell his and keep in mind how vague this is. Like he knows the details.
It really was my cousin. They was fighting in the yard.
But let's be honest though, a lot of times people do fight.
Yeah.
When things go down, everybody not above putting their hands on each other.
Nah, not at all.
I grew up in a dynamic to where I saw it growing up. I thought it was normal. So, in all honesty, like people don't make the connections that you think that's love. Like if you fighting to stay together.
Yeah. Right, I'll tell y'all this story.
Thank you.
She probably gonna get mad at me. Fuck it. I don't care. They ain't together no more.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
It was my aunt, right? Okay. I was a kid. I might have been like 9 or 10, right? And I think she had called her husband. Like they was like going at it, right? And then my dad took me up there because he was trying to defuse the situation. So I get in the yard, we pull up, it's shit all in the yard. Clothes, personal items and shit. And they said, I walked up to the door and they still throwing each other shit in the yard. And I said, y'all moving?
Temporarily. Right. They'll be back together in 3 hours.
2 days, they were back together.
Oh, God.
But it was always funny to me because I was like, "What, y'all moving or something?" Because I just seen so much shit.
Just all the shit thrown out.
Like, he was like, "Nah, not right now. Go sit outside."
Like I didn't grow up in a family or even in a world where I didn't see fights. I grew up in the suburbs. I never seen.
So lucky.
Oh, I mean, I didn't see it. Even in high school, we can count on one hand how many fights we've seen the whole 4 years.
So
like it just
lucky.
we didn't grow up in that. Black people ain't fighting. White people are suing. Okay, I'm gonna take you to court, buddy. And so listen. So I didn't see that, but there was so many times where the rage you're filled with rage over a situation where I'm like, I could punch this motherfucker. I could take this goddamn hammer and bash his skull. Like I can, and I've wanted to, but I couldn't. So I pride myself, like I never slapped. Plenty of them deserved it. I never did. But so when I hear so, I'm like, oh, I wish I was that.
No.
Where are you from?
I'm from born and raised in Raleigh.
Okay,
and,
so Bull
City. Yeah. But again, I grew up in a family dynamic where all I saw was fighting growing up. I was the person that was very quiet and just don't mess with me. Like I never tried to start stuff with people.
That's true. My family dynamic was a little different. I'm like the old southern town where it's like, a lot of shit get pushed under the rug. They gonna deal with it.
A lot of secrets. Yeah.
I'm not old enough to know any secrets. Most people take them to the grave. But like it's a family issue, all right.
Sweeping under the rug.
And so it's like that was how I was raised. So it's like now trying to unpack all that. Like if I got a problem with something, I gotta address it.
Yeah.
Directly.
Too.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
Yeah. And I do that with like my business as far as comedy entertainment, but now I need to know to do that in my personal life. So that's what I'm working on. And shout out to my wife for helping me get through that.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, she's the one for doing that. She's like, nah, nigga, you need to say something.
Yeah.
Because she's from a family like you, right? Not like we fist fighting and stuff, but it's like, you got a problem, I'm going to talk about it. You can be mad, but we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. I was just discussing that too. And I think the episode I did with my family back in Hartford, I had some of my cousins and my brother.
One of my good friends from Hartford.
Really?
Tyrone Burston. He's another comedian. He's
okay.
Yep.
Nice. That's what's up. And we were talking about just dynamics of our families that we wish were different. And I talked about how I hate how we have these family secrets. And I had some people online who were kind of getting on me like, well, if they don't want to talk about it, then that's their right. I get that, but there's some things we have to address in families.
Absolutely.
We have to address when people are being touched when people are like, we used to even keep secrets like, oh, somebody's locked up, but we can't talk about it. We can't, don't you hate that? And so it would be like, oh, this person strung the fuck out. Right. They need some help. We need to talk about this. We can't just ignore this, and then we scared. They coming around, we hiding purses because we scared they gonna steal.
You know, I hate dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that kind of thing. But I think, again, it's like a generational curse that we have to break. Like, it's up to us to be able to say, you know what? No, we're not going to tolerate this shit. I don't want to raise my kids to think, okay, children are seen and not heard. Yeah, don't come saying anything.
Like, you be quiet. You walk
right.
Speak to everybody and go sit in the corner. Like,
right.
They're a child. They got emotions. They're gonna be jumping around.
And they're listening. They're watching. They're seeing everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, my daughter, she has come to me with so many things she's observed in the years that we were living with her father and stuff. And she's like, I saw he used to do this and used to do that. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I'd rather talk to them about it and get them an understanding, because they're trying to process this on their own. Mm-hmm. And then they're going out trying to find information through Google or through YouTube or crazy TikTok, shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think this is an important topic that we have to talk about more, because I think communication is such a big deal. And there's so many poor communicators out here. It creates so many issues. Like, when you're sneaking around, you can't say what you need to say. Mm-hmm. People are building these feelings. Like, even with my aunt, when she had her feelings about me for several years, clearly one of my dad's sisters had some real ill feelings about me.
Yeah.
And over a $50 situation.
$50. $50
damn dollars. Okay, she went talking so much shit about me, and that's why you had a failed marriage and you ain't shit. And I'm like, damn, auntie.
For 2 20s and a 10.
You felt like this?
$50.
Oh, and only $50 is what brought it all out.
I said, you could have let her money back.
Listen, she must have needed that damn $50 real bad, because
$50 back, because she gonna sit and drag you through the mud. Yeah, your ex-husband wants shit. Your kids ain't.
That's
shit.
Why you ain't never gonna be remarried. Yeah. Nobody wants you.
Fuck your podcast.
Like, literally. And so I just have to laugh. But like I said, I'm happy I'm in a space where I'm with the shits. Okay, we gonna talk about it. I don't care how uncomfortable it is, and that's why we're here and creating these spaces so people can come and express what they need to.
But $50?
$50 damn dollars, Chris.
Come on now.
$50, like, damn.
You know it don't take much.
You ain't lying on that.
You know it don't take much.
Damn,
go to grandma's dresser. It's still 2/4 off her dresser if you want to. You got a drug problem.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, it don't take much.
It don't.
My wife, her grandma, before she passed, used to hide her oxys in her pillowcase.
Oh.
Cause tell the truth.
Listen.
I don't know why nobody never knew, but old people do shit like
they
that.
Do.
Yep.
Like, I don't know who might get it. Like, what? No, nobody take no pills, Grandma. I smoke weed.
Lying and stealing runs rapid in the community now.
You ain't lying on that. That's
they'll sell your stuff so fast for a rock. Shoot.
Yeah.
That's why my family don't. You can't get to me. You can't come in my place.
Yeah. We meet at grandma's house. I don't want you knowing why.
Wow. Grandma's.
So
yeah. We sit outside. Yeah.
I've always had like this open door policy, because that's how I grew up. Growing up, my parents' house was like where we have Thanksgivings and Christmases. And I always had my friends. It'd be 8 kids in the house when they come home from school. Like, hey, my daddy gonna cook for everybody. Yeah. And you know what I mean? So it's so funny. Like, even now I'm growing up and I hear people who are like, don't come to my house unannounced. And I'm thinking, come on through. Like,
see?
Oh my God. So it's just so funny how your upbringing.
You were removed from the toxic black.
I'm telling you. And that's why I'm like, I still working to get my black card.
Yeah.
My girls get on me all the very privileged.
Yeah, damn sure. I
was.
You ain't whoop no nigga ass. You grew up in the suburbs. You let people come to your house.
Listen.
She had to whoop no nigga ass, but ass whooping enough was the simple fact that you studied your relationship for 19 years.
Girl, 19.
That's a generation.
It is. That's more than half my damn life, yo. I'm telling you. Damn.
That's
damn.
All that sheltering.
Right. Shout out to bro for keeping a lie going for that long. I don't think he get enough credit. That's a lot of
dedication, right?
Run.
Yeah. Most niggas get busted in like 6 months. 19 years, like, you gotta get bro. Like, that's a run.
He definitely gave me a run for my money.
That's a lot. You got to.
I know people. Keep in mind now, we talking about generational curses and family secrets.
Yeah.
Those lies can run for centuries.
They can.
Like,
I mean,
you don't know until you see the obituary. You're like, who's special friend? What do you mean special friend?
Mm-hmm.
You see this young girl in the corner crying real hard.
No,
that's his daughter. What you mean? Like, he got
not even family. That special friend.
Yeah,
Auntie was gay. This is our whole thing.
and you got to put him in the obituary because that's family,
right? Oh my God. This is so funny, y'all.
Like, when you in a bad relationship, exit quietly.
That's the scary part. When she started packing her shit real nice, like, oh, she's gone. Like, she throw your shit in the yard.
That's how it was
She
for
be back
me.
in 2 days.
I even helped furnish the apartment.
Yeah, like when she fold your clothes up and like slowly put them in the car, like, man, she ain't coming back. She already got somebody else.
You know, it was the moment for
Oh my
me.
God, it's never somebody else. Y'all guys are so
That's what we go to. Like, she got somebody else.
And you know what's
we'll go through your pictures
now.
and we be like, all right, this nigga done hearted this picture. Let me see this nigga. Did she heart his picture? We do research.
Do you really?
It's horrible research. It's not as good as y'all's, but it's horrible research.
Yeah.
Oh my
What they got
goodness.
going on. It would never. Most men never figure it out. Women are so like, and not saying like trying to generalize it, but like women are smooth. You'll never. It's like a cat. You'll never catch a woman if she don't want to be caught.
She's not.
You'll
that's very
never
true.
catch her. If she don't want to be caught, like most women get caught because they want to get
Yeah, and like throw it in your face, like, look, I'm out here getting some new dick.
right.
Yeah.
But like, you ain't gonna catch a woman.
I literally have never been that girl to where I leave or I'm cheating while I'm in a relationship, because that's how present I am when I'm in one.
For sure.
So usually when I leave out of one, it's literally like, okay, I'm taking this time to myself because I'm trying to figure out where the hell did I go wrong? Because not blaming myself for it, but how did I get here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're reflective in that way, it takes some time. Like, and keep in mind, if you really truly put your all into it, you're not gonna be susceptible to going out there and just giving yourself to someone really easily.
That's true.
That's trauma. That's pain. That's you not healing. That's not you revealing what has happened. That's you being immature.
Yeah.
Because what you doing is you going out there and you taking it to the next person and hurting somebody else. So why would I do that?
What don't they call it? What's the whole stage? Right? They go through.
Now, it's plenty of people who do that. But you know what I'm finding even through a lot of the women who I connect with through the podcast? You spend so many years, or like, for me, example, well, I knew walking down the aisle I was making a mistake. I knew I wanted to cancel the wedding the night before and just didn't have the heart.
So you was too deep with that deposit.
It was just too much money. It was hundreds of guests here.
Yeah.
My family went all out. Who ain't got money, had to book flights, hotels, and I just felt so guilty. And so I kept it going, but it took me years to mentally get to the space of I'm trying, but this ain't work. This don't feel good. I'm starting to have anxiety attacks, panic attacks. And I remember when we were leaving the house, I took all the wedding shit and threw it in a box and was like, hey, trash goes out tomorrow. Look through it, see if there's anything you want to keep for the kids, yourself, anything. If not, you can dump it all. And
you knew you was gone.
I knew I was done.
Like that.
And even walking out of it, like, I wasn't seriously looking for somebody new. I knew I just needed to take some time. Like, it was nobody lined up. It was nobody. We don't always have somebody lined up. And, you know, it's options out there who waiting. They sitting there at the door waiting. Like,
it's always dude in the.
You see everybody go to bed. Like,
but we be knowing, like, you know, because a lot of times women will give so much into it. And I think a lot of men take that for granted sometimes, like, oh, she ain't never gonna leave me. And so that's something I put on one episode maybe a couple months ago, where I was like, some of these men, like, y'all can't even afford to be cheaters. Because y'all in y'all women's house.
That's rich man gang.
Y'all driving y'all woman's car.
Yeah.
Y'all, like, everything, the bank accounts in her name. It's so many things, like, y'all can't even afford, because, and that's what I, like, my ex, one of his friends used to tell him, like, you better make sure you tighten up. But he just never did. So he had to leave my house. He had to leave the 3 cars to me. It was like, damn, you traded all this for her? You traded your whole family, your whole life for this. And so that's something I think a lot of people, y'all play around with. They take advantage of somebody. But women, we take the time to really be like, all right, I'm going to go through. I was going to the gym. I was doing counseling. I was doing so many things, preparing.
Yeah.
And y'all don't see it come half the time. Like,
nah.
Nah, they focus on what's my next hit. How am I gonna?
I'm gonna go get this bitch with the fat ass, and she look better than you, and that bitch don't want nothing. She thinking everything you got because you put in the big house on Facebook and social media and all the trips ain't even your shit.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So it's so funny how people will be caught up in, like, oh, thinking you're coming and getting some prize. No, I'm gonna have the young girl come on my show. The girl wants to come on my show. The ex-girlfriend who he was dating recently.
You gonna do that?
I am, because he's got so many people out here thinking.
Y'all don't think y'all gonna get in and get to fighting?
No, she's a real sweet girl. We've been communicating everything.
I don't know.
When I tell you, this girl was sending
not come up here and get the fight.
Oh, yeah, not with you on here. Never mind.
And she's young. She's like 30. But when I tell you, the girl gave me so much information. She was sending me screenshots, pictures. He was sending her, like, can you verify this is his dick? Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yes, I can, because she thought he was lying about it, too. Like, I don't even think this is a real picture.
I hope no nigga didn't go and Google black dick and then send a picture. That's weird.
Don't think they don't. I've gotten fake dick pictures, too.
I got some stories.
Lord,
my first fiance, right before I broke up with him, he didn't do nothing for me on Valentine's Day. We had been engaged maybe a year.
Okay.
And I went through his phone. And I got more than I anticipated, boy. He had all type of dicks in his phone.
Oh, jeez.
His pictures of his dick? Or
no.
Engaged? Me and my wife tried to send like each other like little like nasty pictures and shit. It didn't work. It didn't work. Like she sent me like a picture like I ain't tell her business shit. Send me a picture of her titties.
We're done.
In a family reunion shirt.
Oh my God.
Family reunion shirt. You took all the sex.
We trying to be sexy and shit like that.
I'm like, I don't want to see
That's my baby.
parents' family reunion on your body right now.
Try to spice it up and shit. They go to strip club and stuff like that.
Oh God.
That's the worst thing ever.
No,
I love going to the strip club though. That used to be fun for me.
She went by herself with her homegirls. They had a ball.
Now, if you're nasty like that,
nah, we ain't nasty.
I ain't nasty enough.
We got 3 kids in the mortgage. We ain't nasty.
That's nasty. That's nasty
Right,
work.
We got
That's real nasty work. That's nasty as it's gonna get.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my
Surviving.
God.
Right, that's it. Like, we thriving. That's
So
Thriving,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Ain't nothing nasty
my
about that. Ain't nothing nasty about being on the PTO board.
Oh my
listen,
God.
that's
Yeah.
real sexy. Though.
Yeah.
Somebody looking at it like, oh my God, he's an involved husband.
Ain't nothing nasty about that.
Somebody like, ooh.
But you know what?
This nigga got stability. Like, ooh, that is a turn
He's
on.
involved.
Yeah, I'm getting moist.
Like,
Oh my goodness.
This nigga's present.
Well, I just hope as a husband, do not stop putting into your wife, into your marriage.
Yeah.
I'm hating the number of divorces out here. I had 6 girlfriends going through divorce when I was 6.
Yeah.
All the had to leave our house. All they down bad. And it's just not worth it. I really wish that, especially in our Black communities, we could really put in more work and put in more effort.
You got to put the work.
To try to hold on to these families, and we creating all these broken homes.
well, it's not because the lack of women trying to keep it together.
It's
on us. And I'll say it like I'll say, I have my hand in my wife being upset sometimes with me where I got to put a little more work where it's like, if I'd have did it in the past, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's always on me. And the women do their part. We fuck
all
up.
day.
And we fuck up. Keep it 100, we fuck up.
Yeah.
It's the culture. It's the way that men are programmed to be, to where they think they're supposed to be catered to, and they don't have to put in a lot of work, and it destroys relationships because what you do is you wear the other person down, you wear them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's physically, mentally, spiritually,
financially sometimes.
all that.
Yes.
So it's full circle. So again, when a woman's fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it because you done zapped her out.
Yeah.
Tapped. Yeah. Well, y'all, there it is. Another episode of the Hoe-Busters Podcast, y'all. Special thanks to Chris Monds.
Yes, ma'am.
Our comedian here,
Thank y'all
Locast.
for having me. Y'all been amazing.
Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for this great conversation. And thank you all for tuning in, listening in. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. We just hit 1,000 subscribers last night.
Oh, that's big.
I'm excited. Yes.
Thank your Instagram, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so Chris Monds Comedy.
Okay.
Just simple as that. Yeah, I keep it simple.
Good. We got you. So yeah, y'all can also listen in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all that good stuff. Make sure to drop us some comments if you have any questions for us or our guest today. Yep. And if you're interested in being a guest, if you're local to the Charlotte area, please check out our website, Hoebusters.com. Apply to be a guest and somebody will get in touch with you. But until next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.